Is the crown prince really slow or is he just acting? Because she literally said, my lady. But for some reason, he just passed that and just said, are you a servant from, the royal physician? And just kept it at that. Like, just believing that fact. Disclaimer, if you haven't seen episode 7 and 8 of Missing Crown Prince, please watch before listening to the review. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review on the Review Garden. So, the majority of episode 7 just consisted of the Crown Prince and his bodyguard. They were trying to obviously leave to go somewhere else because he's deposed now, and they're still trying to find him and bring him back to the palace. So the they they kidnapped well, his bodyguard kidnapped the mate the servant for the girl, and then pretty much it picked up where it left off. So now she wants to go with them. Obviously the servant girl doesn't want to, but the daughter wants to. And this whole time, like, he's just thinking like she's the servant girl and the servant girl is the actual lady. And they kind of showing you that the bodyguard and the true servant girl, what's her name, Whoa, that they have something forming with each other. So pretty much like what you're seeing right now is just, so the crown prince likes um what's her name, the daughter, right? The physician's daughter. He likes her, but he thinks like she is a servant girl, and she thinks that he's a scholar, not a crown prince. So, and then you have the bodyguard who is taking a liking um to the servant girl, thinking that she is a lady. So I wonder how long they're gonna keep this charade going on. I mean, we're in episode 7. It's like, I mean, it's obviously their identity is not that big of a deal, but it's just like, I can understand from his perspective, like, letting her know that he's the crown prince, that would cause more harm. But it's her hiding her identity. That one's a little weird. Or maybe she doesn't want him to know that she's the daughter of the royal physician. But it doesn't matter anyway because they're traveling with, and they know that they're traveling with the daughter of the royal physician, and they're not acting any differently with her, right? So I don't understand the whole point. And like they're both just like flirting with each other, and I'm like, okay, but just reveal who you are. You don't need to like drag this on. At the end of episode 8, that's when she finally finds out that he is the crown prince, because he he was going to his grandfather's house, so his mother's father's house. And then when he got there, the grandfather was like, your highness, your highness, the crown prince, da, 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 da. So that's when she was like, what? So I wonder now if, so she found out first his true identity. So I wonder now if she's going to reveal to him finally that she's the physician's daughter and not the other one. Because he also asked her like, I wanted to ask your lady if you could stop being a servant girl, and you have a lot of skills, you could become your own doctor, da da da. And I'm like, sa, she's not really a servant girl, so she technically doesn't need to stop serving. It would be nice if she would, you know, get rid of the servitude for the other girl, because she put her through so much. And when she left the other girl by herself, and the physician's right hand man caught her, she wasn't even worried about the girl. And I'm like, how are you not worried about her? Your father's man just took her, and you don't even care about what your father might do to her. Luckily, her father didn't do anything to her, but still, like, you're not even worried about the girl. So yeah, so hopefully none of that stupid misunderstanding continues to happen. Now, in terms of the queen, I feel like in episode 8 they really tried to make the viewers feel really sorry for her. Like, the queen dowager and the royal physician, like, their story. So, they were supposed to get married. They were together when they were young, and he didn't want to marry her yet until he passed the state exam. And then apparently that astrologer was with him this whole time too, telling him, like, if you keep prolonging this, you're going to lose her. And then what ended up happening? The king at the time wanted her to be his bride, right? So I think her father was the one who told the king that she already has a fiance. So the king sent his men to go figure out who the fiance was. And then he tried to go fight it. The king took him and was like torturing him. So she came to his rescue and was like, "Please don't kill him." And then he's like, "Well, if I don't kill him, then what are you gonna do for me?" And I mean, it was nasty. Like, with everybody watching outside, like, and the prisoner watching, he's like having pretty much was uh it wasn't consensual, obviously. So I'm like, that's disgusting. And aren't you supposed to be married first before you do that shit? Just because you're king, you're taking advantage of whatever it is. Now, I do feel for them. I do, for their story, but it does not condone what they're doing in the present. What happened in the past was with the old king. It's not the new king. It's not the new king that did any of that. It's not the crown prince. It's not the grand prince. It wasn't any of them who contributed to um to their misery, to their lack of being together. So why are you getting, quote, revenge against them? And the whole, her grand prince, in the previous episodes they showed you that he they took him away, and you know they they took him away, and then she had a plant dedicated for him. And so I'm guessing they probably got rid of him. So she had a plant dedicated to him, and the grand prince in the present time took it and, like, crashed, like, threw it on the floor in, like, total pieces, right? So I'm guessing that maybe the king found out that the grand prince wasn't his kid, because the royal physician and the queen dowager were together, And then I think it was maybe a day or two after that she was together with the king. So maybe, they find out that the grand prince wasn't really his kid, the king's kid. That's why they took him away. But like, I get it. All that is sad, but it still doesn't justify all this evil that they're doing in the present time. And that's what, the queen told the queen told her, like, pretty much yelled at her. The grand prince pretty much yelled at her. And when she saw the crown prince, he was like, I can't believe, like even when you were, you know like, all your affections were fake. So, like, it begs the question. So her grand prince was taken away, so I'm guessing it's some other guy. It's someone else. The current king is not her kid. I mean, that's what I'm getting from it. And she's just, you know, their grandma by by the fact that she's the queen dowager. Because I mentioned this last review when they revealed it, that um the king was married to someone who is the crown prince's mom, and then he got remarried when she passed away, who is the current queen, and it is the other grand prince's mom, right? I mean, the grand prince's mom. But when they showed you clips of them in episode 8, they look really close. The brothers were close. Even the king showed a lot of admiration for his wife, the current queen. And he even gifted her a cat when the grand prince decided to leave the palace. So he really did love her. He just was acting weird towards her when he found out that it's her father that's trying to it's her father and the queen dowager that is, behind majority of the stuff, and obviously the royal physician as well. And I think he's mostly the one that's driving all of the bad stuff, because she was like, she told him, like, I don't really recognize who I am anymore. This is not who I am. How did I become such a wench? Um, you know, so, and he's like, well, you're still the same person. I'm like, is she really the same person? I'm pretty sure she's not the same person, because if she was the same person, she wouldn't have done that to the other people. You just want to tell her she's the same person to, quote, make her feel better. But yeah, and the way the grand prince is acting, like, sometimes I'm just like, who said like, I know, maybe, like, part of me is like, I know that he's faking it, but then another part of me is like, is he really faking it? So I don't know what to believe with him. It'll probably be towards the end of the series that I'm like, okay, I see what you were about, but right now I'm having doubts. You know. And this wraps up our journey on the Review Garden. Thank you for joining me today as we explored this drama. If you enjoyed this reaction and review, please remember to subscribe for more insightful videos. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps our channel grow. As always, I'm truly grateful for your support and for joining me on this journey on the Review Garden. Until next time, and happy listening. Bye.